Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see you today. It's pretty cold out. That's okay. It's warming up. Spring's just around the corner. So today we're going to change it up a little bit. Instead of doing a flip through, which is generally what I have, we are going to do a little tutorial on making a cover for my next journal that I have finished. To begin this cover, I've decided I'm going to create it out of a package. I received a Christmas present in this, and I couldn't throw it away because it was such nice cardboard. And so I saved it, and then when I was looking at my journal, I'm like, oh, I think I know just what I'm going to use for that. So I prepped it by taking off all of the tape that was on it, and then I've opened it all up. So the next thing I'm probably going to do is cut it to size. So I have my journal signatures, and there's 3 of them for this journal. And what I generally do is stack them up like this and let them stand freely or sit freely, and then I'll take a ruler and I'll measure for how far my spine should be. Well, this journal is really tipped down and has a gator mouth over here, so I'm going to press down on the gator mouth a little bit so I can get a better feel. And so what I'm going to need is a 2.5 or a 3-inch spine for this one. So I'll cut my pieces of my cardboard to the size of my top, which the page is 7 by 11. So I want it to be bigger, just a little bit bigger than the cover. Here we are in the cover. So it's 7 here by 11. So I want it to be a little bit bigger than the signatures are. So I'll probably go maybe 1/2 inch on each side. So that would make it 8 by not 12. I don't want to do 12 on the other side. So 8 by 11.5, something like that. I'll lay them on there and test them out and see how it works. So that is going to be my first thing. Now the next decision I have made for my cover is that I'm going to use fabric. So I've chosen this out of my stash, and from there I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go, but I'll show you the process of how I get that far, and then I'll show you what else I have decided to use for the rest of my journal. So here we go. decided that I am going to put my 3 pieces of my cover together with some carpet tape. It might be a little overkill, but I don't want this to come apart as my 3 signatures are rather bulky. So I don't think I'm going to use the full width of the carpet tape. I think that it would probably be pretty hard to stitch through because I am going to stitch right on my spine, my signatures right into my spine of my book. So I'll cut this in half. As a little side note, we have this nice little package that the tape came in, and it has a great little window on it. So I'm going to pull this apart and I'm going to put it in my stash under my table. I have a bag that has different packaging pieces in it that are pretty interesting to use for tags and windows and pockets in our journals. So this one is a keeper. So eventually I'll use this. I really like this little oval. That is really cute. So this is going to be pretty neat in one of my journals in the future. So under the table, it will go in my bag until I need it. So I will get this cover, the 3 pieces, all taped together. I have chosen to have green on the inside of my cover. The green matches pretty well some of the papers in the book, and it brings out on this blue that I have, here's the green, it brings out the green, the light green that's in the leaves on this blue that I have chosen. And that all matches pretty well with the papers that are in the journal. So I'll be back in a bit. There's the spine. The cover is now in one piece. I decided, rather than trying to cut this tape in half or in thirds or whatever, it is so sticky, that I would just put the majority of it on the front and the back cover and just a bit of it down the spine here. It's enough of it that it's going to hold it together, obviously. Take a look at that. And it's very, very strong sticky tape. So it is also double-sided tape. So I'm going to take my fabric, my blue fabric now, and I'm going to apply it to this. And I will take the back side off the tape so that the fabric is stuck down here. And then when I go to sew it to the cardboard, it won't move around quite so much, hopefully. Here's where we are so far with the cover. Now we have the inside, which is the green. Not quite as pleased with the inside. I had a few more puckers than what I did on the outside, but it's okay. By the time I add pockets or whatever to the inside, you won't really notice. And then here is the outside. It's the pretty blue. And I did do a zigzag and a straight stitch, so we have a little variation on the outside. So when I take my signatures and I set them in here, I'm very happy with how the cover fits the signatures. It actually, to me, I think it's just perfect. So it goes just a bit beyond the signatures here and here. And I think that the spine is a perfect fit. So I also went ahead and started my board that I'm going to use for my design on top of my cover. And I went ahead with the green that's on the inside for the outside. I had a couple floral prints, pink ones, because there's pink in the journal also. And to me, it just was too much. And then I was thinking with all the other stuff that I want to incorporate in on this too, like some lace and some doilies and different things. I also want to add this little house that I drew. It's actually, it looks like a house, yes, but it's going to be a she shed. You just imagine that it's a she shed. So that's where I stand with what I have decided so far. I have to figure out how I'm going to have a closure. So I'll work on that next, and then I'll also work on what else I want to add to the top of the cover. So see you again in a bit. All right, I have chosen some things for my cover. I'm not sure I'm using all of this, but this is what I've picked out so far. So I like to add doilies, and I have a small stash of handkerchiefs, and I like to incorporate one of them. I have some crocheted lace also, and then I have some regular lace. Am I troubled with the fact that I'm using some beige trim and then some that's white? No, to me it's fine. The variations in color is fine. I'm going to use my house. I believe I'm going to mount it onto this piece of cardboard after I have collaged on this with some of the papers that are in the journal. And then and incorporate the house into the collage, and then probably do some maybe lace around the outside or something around the outside. Maybe I'll make a ruffle or something to put on the outside. But I have chosen this doily and then this doily also, one for the front and one for the back. I think the one on the front might carry over and fold over to the inside a little bit. I'm not quite sure. This is the handkerchief that I have chosen. I had another one, this one, that I thought about using because it has the pinks and the blues and the greens, and it's beautiful. Actually, what we have right here is really pretty. With the edge of this and then this. So I'll have to rethink that, whether I want to cut up two of them for one journal or not. But I had this one and then I pulled this one out and thought, well, that's not quite as busy. I kind of really like that too. My standby lace that I have, I'll incorporate there. And then this little crocheted medallions, I'll put those in there too. I had also pulled out some of this wider lace. I don't know, I'll play with it all, and I think first I'll work on getting my collage done with my little she shed on it, and then I'll go from there and see just what all this cover really needs. I need to also incorporate a tie, some sort of tie, whether it's a tie or a closure, something to keep the book closed. So this video is long enough. I am going to stop here, and then I will see you soon with part 2 of making my cover for my first She Shed journal. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any updates. I think that if you've watched this so far, you're going to want to see the finished product. So make sure to hit and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.